Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my co-car. How aligned with the Clintons that the Kardashians were through Corey. Corey is a plant. Corey was, you know, Puff Daddy, Manny. You know what I'm saying? Then he was with Justin Bieber when Justin Bieber got in trouble. And then when Bruce did a transition to Caitlyn, he popped up. Now he run around like he Kylie Daddy.
Did Corey say he was part of the CIA at one point? Or am I making that up?
Yes, Corey's CIA. Like, he didn't even have to say it. I know it. He's fucking CIA. What are you talking about? Like, what the fuck?
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, you know, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't
But
say
you
that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there, Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And what kind, do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like, you know,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
See?
It's not just rumors or gossip. Kanye alleges that Diddy has been involved in some disturbing activities. An undercover FBI agent has reportedly been working on a case that uncovers the darker side of the celebrity.
Why did the FBI pull off that search warrant? And by the way, they still haven't come up with anything out of it. So you seize stuff, what are you just doing, sitting on it?
Right.
Now, think about it. You've seen the list of some of the people that are supposed to have been there. Did they just go in there and use that as a pretext to seize, say, very condemning information on somebody so one of their guys doesn't have to go through what Trump is going through with this idiot Letitia and her boys and brag up in New York? By the way, look at what they're doing with Trump with Bragg. He supposedly bribed Stormy Daniels to remain silent.
There's a surprising development in this story. An anonymous agent now asserts that Diddy has been involved in several dubious financial dealings and inappropriate, not-so-good behavior.
Diddy was an FBI informant. Even Little Rod said it's not just like Epstein, it could be worse.
Your thoughts on this story here?
So it wasn't just this guy that was saying it. Lil Rod, the former producer, filed the lawsuit, and he said every room in Diddy's mansions were wired with cameras. And he had some of the footage, he had some of the pictures, and he displayed those in the lawsuit that came out. And this was used for blackmail material. They'd bring in these people. A lot of these people were also aspiring young artists in the music industry. And then these parties were sponsored by Motown Records CEO, Universal Records CEO. This goes all the way to the top. But they got you. And it wasn't just people in the music business. As you said, there were athletes, there were celebrities, there were politicians, people from the royal family. And we were also told by the former bodyguard that Diddy was an FBI informant. Whoa. So he was a snitch and was feeding information to the feds. And we don't know what that means. We haven't been able to confirm it, but even Little Rod said it's not just like Epstein, it could be worse.
Do you think the feds took notice of that? And they, you know, at this point, they're like, yo, we're going to crack down on Diddy?
What happens is that the police will bring in a CI and will use him like she was a $3 hoe. That's a confidential informant. They'll let you do crimes, as long as you don't do no murders and stuff like that. They'll let you go around and pay you. When I was in law enforcement, dog, they paid confidential informants $250 for revolvers, $500 for automatic weapons, $750 to $1,500 for semi-automatic guns and rifles and machine guns and stuff like that. Some confidential informants got payment like that. And plus they get 8% of a case. 8% of a case. So if they bring in about, just say, they bring in a case $100,000. That's 8,000, what's that? What's that, $8,000? That's 8,000. They bring in $1 million case. $1 million case, that person is getting $80,000. I mean, like $80,000 on it. I think if you're talking about 8%, you know what I mean? So I'm saying that to say this. Confidential informants get paid good. But Puff was a millionaire. Him being a confidential informant, him getting money like that, it was favors. He been getting favors and been paying law enforcement people for years to protect him. You understand? To protect him. We had a lot of people on the payroll when we was doing security. Everybody had, somebody might have this first 10 hours, that 10 hours, or whatever. He was paying law enforcement. He had a budget for law enforcement. Now, if something goes wrong, those people got friends in certain places. Then plus, he tells his handler, yo, can you make this go away for me? I'll give you this and that. Now, that could be a lot of speculations or whatever like that. But why would you have or be working for an FBI agent if you're not an informant? Why? So when you got that kind of money, you could hire people to make a lot of things go away for you. Like you hire lawyers. Those lawyers have police officers and people working for them, and investigators. Those investigators were former officers. So all of them in the backyard in Diddy bed together.
The agent further alleges that Diddy has been leveraging his influence to intimidate anyone who might reveal the truth. Consequently, several of Diddy's prominent celebrity victims, including Usher and Justin Bieber, have reportedly refused to cooperate with federal investigators.
Usher's mom is allegedly suing Diddy. She's alleging that Diddy took his V card. When Usher was 10 years old, his mother let Usher go live with Diddy. Apparently his voice was messed up and, he was going through puberty. And so she sent Usher to Diddy saying that, saying that Diddy was gonna, train his voice. But he did a lot more than that. So now the mother wants to speak out because she's saying that there was a situation that happened when Usher was, I want to say 15 years old. He ended up having to go to the hospital because he was bleeding from his rectum. Now, we all know what that means. Diddy was messing with that boy. But see, here's the thing. The mama didn't say anything back then. But now she's saying that Diddy basically messed Usher up. I believe that with Cassie filing her lawsuit, that's giving everyone the courage to come out and speak about what's happening, what has happened with Diddy. And I mean, Usher doesn't hide the fact that he was with Diddy and that things happened and that he saw some wild things. Usher even said that he's gonna give Diddy a pass. So Usher has forgiven him. But his mother is saying no. And so she is wanting to file a lawsuit against Diddy. Now, what I want to know from you guys is, being that the mother sent him over there, and she said out her mouth that it was a business deal because Diddy was giving her money. So you basically sold your son to Diddy, allegedly. And now, Usher's like 45 now. So here we are, a lot of years later, and you want to place a lawsuit for him taking his V card, when you really should have been saying something back then. But better yet, you really should have never sent your son there. And the mother did an interview saying that she did her research. She said that she did all of her research and that she looked up who Diddy was and things like that. But baby, you must have missed a lot of red flags. There was something that you didn't read. You must have skipped a few pages because, yeah. Do y'all feel like the mother is justified for coming out now? You really can't tell anyone how to deal with the situations that happen in their life when it comes down to trauma. But do y'all feel like she should have said something earlier? And do you think she's going to win the lawsuit? Let me know in the comments. I'll holler at y'all later.
He is on the run. He jumped on a jet, paused in Miami, and the feds were there in Miami. Somebody tipped this brother off, because how did he just happen to be on a plane the day before they gonna raid his property? He got an inside man there at the Federal Bureau of Homeland Security. One of them motherfuckers. Now he must have zailed every last one of them feds $10 million each, because they let him get back on the plane to Antigua. They just gonna raid a man's properties, but not raid him. They raid a nigga's property, they coming to get you too. They sacrifice a Diddy. They say, man, you gotta take this shit, we can't be involved. But Diddy's smart. He filmed every session. He was fucking Clive and the motherfucking freak boy that run Universal Music Group. Now that's why they raiding the house, because they got friends in Homeland Security and the feds. And they said, get in there and get them tapes from this nigga. He trying to blackmail us. That's what I believe is going on.
Kim Porter's death just never sat right with me. So we're gonna deep dive the Diddy and Kim Porter rabbit hole right now. Now we know how bad Diddy treated Kim Porter. Gene Deal said Diddy actually broke her nose and was physical with her on multiple different occasions. Do you all remember when I'll Be Sure posted this? He literally says, "She was running. I said call the FBI." Al Be Sure has alleged for years that Kim Porter was actually unalived. He said, "I just found this footage from the morning that I learned of Kim Porter's murder and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. I was on my way to film the pre-show packages for the BET Awards when I received a call from the PR icon asking me if I was okay and did I hear the news. I had no clue. I do know very clearly that Kimberly did not just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's bullshit. Really? This is where I get into trouble. We celebrated our son Quincy's new deal and Christmas special with Netflix, and she was in fantastic health, as well as laughing seeing me and Diddy's mutual exchange at the theater. I'm gonna leave it here. Don't let the love songs fool you." Now, it's been alleged that Kim Porter was writing a tell-all book, and she also had tapes on Diddy that Cassie might have actually turned into the feds. So I'm sure based off how he treated Kim Porter and everything that she witnessed or had to go through was going to be put in her tell-all book. Now, we know Kim Porter's first autopsy report was labeled as deferred because they had to do more toxicology. And it has been alleged that her first autopsy report showed some type of toxins in her body. Now, the coroner of her first autopsy report worked on people such as Michael Jackson, Corey Haim, Whitney Houston, Brittany Murphy, Paul Walker, and Tom Petty. And during Kim Porter's autopsy, he actually just decided to resign. And after he retired, that is when there was a second autopsy done, which said that she ultimately died of pneumonia. And it's also been alleged for years that Diddy actually had Kim Porter's casket pre-ordered. And if all that stuff mentioned wasn't weird enough, the fact that Corey Gamble was actually there at her house after she had passed away, the math's just not adding. Unless you think about exactly what Kanye West said a couple years ago. Kanye alleged that Corey was CIA in some type of industry plant, and he said that he was put around people that were basically going through some type of criminal issues. And if you remember, Kanye also said you cannot send people to him like Diddy or Meek Mills that have unalived people and basically got away with it, just for them to go pull on the coattail of people that do not follow the agenda. Everything that Kanye was saying is literally coming full circle.